God almighty. Now would be a good time for a lot of you that don't know to be made aware. You like what you're seeing? You like these finished results? You want us to do all this for you? Well, before you get too excited and dial up 423-503-0512, because you already know how we do, you need to be aware that I charge $500 just to talk to you. I do not answer my phone. If you do not leave me a voicemail or send me a text, you will never speak to me in your life. I do not care if I do a job for you. You need to know that as well. If I care enough to commit to doing a project for you, you are getting ready to get a better project than anyone you could have ever hired in your freaking life. You ain't never had nobody like me. You ain't never had nobody like my team, and you'll never get anybody like me or my team. And if you want to find out the hard way that that statement's true, be my freaking guest and go ahead and find out for yourself. So guys, for all of you that want the best, and you already know you want the best, that $500 consultation fee goes 100% towards your total project cost. Your 100% total project balance is due in full at contract acceptance, or I will not be doing any work for you. Boom! Got myself all geared up now, guys. Gonna drop down here on my knees and get ready to get... What are you talking about?
What you just said. I thought you called for me. You said something about your name.
All that slickness that you see right there behind me, you see how tight them floors are? You see how tight them walls are? I can teach you how to do that step by freaking step, A to Z. And let me tell you something. Out of all the people that I've taught it to, how come you don't think you see anybody else on YouTube or anywhere else on the entire internet out here accomplishing results like what you see right here before you? I'll go ahead and tell you the answer in case you ain't smart enough to know it. You can't pull off these results right here unless you care. And no matter what I teach you to do, I can't teach you to care. You can't make somebody care. What's going on, guys? Tanner Flowers here, and we are currently finishing up a brand new crawl space encapsulation project along with another crawl space drainage project right now as we speak. But before I get inside those crawl spaces, there's 3 of them, and show you all of those finished results, let me take you through a little bit of what's going on out here outside this house. And if you'll just glance up the street there, notice the topography of the ground and how all of that is sloping down this way. And as we pan right, you'll notice the same situation taking place. So all of this drainage water has been making its way through this ground for all of these years. And you already know, guys, that footprint of that crawl space is the deepest hole inside this surrounding area. And if you look right here inside this drainage channel, just look at how much water is flowing down this way. And as that water is coming in this direction, it has been falling inside that crawl space and being held up there for God knows how many years. And this is no normal crawl space project by any means. And before I get inside here and show you all of these results once again, I've got to take you all the way back to the beginning of this story, which happens to start way back on September the 1st, 2016. Take a look. I had a man named Eric call me up who told me he needed us to build him a crawl space entry just in order for me to get inside his crawl space and inspect it. So I called up the master carpenter, Matt Freytag. We got over there, cut in that brand new crawl space entry, and I got inside this crawl space. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Let me just go ahead and tell you. I looked at this job and I ended up pricing this job and I ended up selling this job. Oh my God. Take a look at some of these video clips coming up at where I nearly got stuck underneath this house. Make me want to kiss myself. Look at what I'm doing right now. Look at this. You see me? Can you, I hope you can. You think I don't know we're the best? Huh? Everybody wants to know how I do this. Well, look, when you get up in here, the only way you can get under these joists is turn your head sideways. Because you can't. Oh, look at that thing. Oh, shit. Excuse me. God. Oh, no. Shit. Shit, I just about did it right then. God almighty. Oh. You talk about freaking out. This is the wrong place to freak out. Damn, I'm still stuck. Ah, that was my butt coming back from under that thing. Ah, now get up in between these and I can move. But you see this right here? Let me zoom out here. Look here. Hold your thumb. Look here, my pinky is touching and my thumb is touching. Oh, mercy. Back up here at the crawl entry now. Getting ready to head back out. And let me just leave this with you before I drop this mic. Let Tennessee technicians take care of you. Call 503-0512. I'm out.
Give them a whole lot of sweets.
This is Spanky. And yeah, he's a good boy. Yeah, he is. And my friend Eric has had him since he was 3 weeks old. And he's a good baby. Yeah, he is. He's so good. He's so good. How old is he now?
A year and a half.
And he's a year and a half old now, guys. Look at him.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby boy.
He's just talking to Tyler.
What is it? Come on. Come on, what is it?
That's a big social thing.
Right there,
Yeah.
It's a good baby. Yeah, he's a good baby.
Yeah.
See you guys. And as soon as we got that job wrapped up for my buddy Eric, we had a couple more stops to make. And then around January the 4th, 2017, I actually stepped foot inside this garage for the first time in my life. I came inside this door right here, actually, and went inside this crawl space, and let me show you exactly what I saw. You see, guys, this house right here, it belongs to Eric's mother and stepfather. And whenever I crawled inside it for the first time all these years ago, I had no idea what to expect. And really take into account what these photos look like right now, because here in just a minute, you're going to see photos that I took in February of 2021, and I want you guys to recognize the difference in what you see. But for now, while we're still in 2017, look at all of those signs where all of that water has been atop that existing vapor barrier. Anytime you see dirt residue atop an existing vapor barrier, it is solely because there has been water atop that vapor barrier. Now, I do not care if that water is getting inside there once a year, twice a year, whatever the case may be. If you own a company and you choose to go in there and sell that person a crawl space encapsulation service, you need to be aware that if it's only once or twice a year, well, that's 1 or 2 times you're going to be getting water on top of that finished encapsulation project, and that's going to call for some pissed off customers. So when you start seeing signs that there is water or is evidence of water being there at some point or another, you better address it. You better get it taken care of, because at the end of the day, it's always your reputation that's on the line. Man, guys, I had no idea I was going to be seeing all of that water inside this main crawl space. And as if that wasn't problematic enough, luckily for my friends EJ and Gloria, I was able to find that super severe plumbing leak up on the front side of this home, which he called a plumber immediately to come over here and fix. And as we found out just back in February of 2021, those repairs did not get made sufficiently. So speaking of February 2021, that's when I actually got the phone call to come over here and begin this project that we had first looked at back in January of 2017. Now, keep in mind, EJ did have those plumbing repairs fixed, and he was under the impression that the standing water issue inside this crawl space was no longer an issue whatsoever. But before I was willing to commit to taking on this project, before I was willing to attach Tanner Flower's name to this project, I told Hector and David, I said, guys, before we hit a lick under here, we're going to get in here and we're going to crawl all 3 of these crawl spaces once again, and I'm going to verify with my own eyeballs whether we still have or whether we don't have a standing water issue taking place inside this crawl space. So let me take you back to early February and show you exactly what I saw whenever David, Hector, and myself performed that actual inspection. Now bear in mind, on that front side of the house where all of that water was in those original inspection photos, the majority of that water on that front high side of the home was from that plumbing leak that had been addressed. But even though EJ told me that had been addressed, I said, what about that sump pump that was underneath there? He said, oh, that's not an issue. We've got a new sump pump. And I was just thinking to myself, well, if you still need a sump pump, you know, and according to what I saw way back in 2017, I'm guessing that there's probably still some sort of drainage problem occurring underneath that house. So Hector and David and myself were going through here. We started seeing all the mud that was on top of the poly. We were seeing how wet the foundation wall was. EJ was concerned with mold, fungus, and mildew. Just take a look at all of the boards. You'll see it in nearly every single photo. We had to get all of that insulation pulled out of there. God almighty, that's a mess. We had to have a company come over here and do a full sporicidin treatment. We had to, you already know it, do our inside perimeter French drain project under here. And it ain't like this crawl space is an easy one to maneuver around in, let me just go ahead and tell you. We had to take care of all of that water. We had to maneuver all of that mud around. And that was a task in itself, let me tell you, that took about 3 days. And trying to get all of those bags of gravel inside that tiny crawl space entry, you don't even know. And let me just go ahead and give a big shout out to David, Hector, and his brother Valentine, who helped us out on this project, for doing an outstanding job. And I'm so proud of the way everything turned out. And now take a look at it now. Wow, guys, if any of you watching know anything about what you just saw, then you already know with absolute certainty we had to go underneath here and tackle the inside perimeter French drain project. Now, luckily for us, this super tiny crawl space right here on my left, that bad boy's got a concrete floor, so we didn't have to do any digging inside there. And that crawl space that's up there on the front side of this home, that bad boy's at a way higher level than this main crawl space right here. So the only inside perimeter French drain work that we had to do was actually inside of this main crawl space. And let me show you some of that muddy ASS mess right now. There's you all a shot of our plywood road that we always like to build whenever we're digging our French drains. Guys, this stuff was like digging in soup. Whenever you look to your left right here, just look at that ground. I'm telling you, man, it was the sloppiest mess you've ever worked in your entire life. But we do have that entire inside perimeter of that main crawl space. It's got our full French drain in it. It's got the drainage fabric. It's got the 4-inch perforated pipe with filter sock. It's got all the drainage gravel. We've got our sump pump basin. We've got a big sump pump pumping all of that collected water outside the home. And you'll see here in just 1 second, this is EJ's old existing basin that we just had in here temporarily while we were getting the water redirected over here to this corner where we wanted it to come to, because that's what we do. I know what you're thinking. There ain't no way in the world possible that them boys is going to be able to clean all of that friggin' mess up. And let me tell you something, I was thinking the exact same thing. But hey, let me ask him real quick. Hector, you about ready for me to come in there and inspect that crawl space yet?
No, Whiteo. We're not ready for you. You want to make a video? Get that one right there.
All right, guys, you heard the man. I'm going to get inside here and go ahead and film the finished crawl space right here to my left first, while Hector and David are putting the finishing touches inside the main crawl space and that front one. And we'll get in there and visit both of those guys here in a moment. Let me get my knee pads and elbow pads on, and I'll be right back with you. Boom! Got myself all geared up now, guys. Gonna drop down here on my knees and get ready to get... What are you talking about?
What you just said. I thought you called for me. You said something about your knees. I don't know.
Get out of here, dude.
I don't know. That's all I heard, but I guess...
Get out of here. I gotta do a
wanted.
friggin' video, man.
I'm not wanted.
Both of these crawl space entries on this project have been completely rebuilt by myself. Let me spin it around here and show them to you real fast. You'll see the main entry there, and then right here to my left is this smaller crawl space. And once I open this door, the lights are already going to be on because the control switch is inside of our main crawl space over there. And squeezing inside this thing is no easy task by any means. Check this out, guys. Hang on, let me pull myself in here. And I also got to go over a little bit of information real quick on why we did not put any poly up here on this front wall. I'll tell you about that right now. And if I could real quick, get everyone to focus their attention right over here on this wall behind me, and notice how this is not a hollow block foundation wall. This is nothing more than 2x4 studs with sheetrock atop of it. Now, as I crawl and make my way over here towards the front side of the house, you'll be able to see on the other side of the ductwork here, that is all hollow block. And as always, we do have our 20 mil poly over each of the hollow blocks of the foundation. Now, just right there before us is where the hollow block stops. And then you've got another wall that is nothing but wooden 2x4 studs and plywood. And you might ask, well, why do you not put poly over all of that? Because all of this moisture barrier that you see keeps all of the moisture underneath it. And whenever you put that moisture barrier up here onto anything wooden, it will trap all of that moisture against it, and it will rot that wood out faster than anything that you could have ever imagined. And then right over here to my right, guys, you will see all of this ductwork from this room going through this opening right here that actually takes you inside of the main crawl space, where you guys can still see Hector and David putting all of the finishing cleanup touches on our crawl space encapsulation project for our friends EJ and Gloria. And guys, up here on the front wall of this home, this is actually just a little over 12 inches high. And I want everyone watching right now to take into account one simple fact. This guy you're listening to has been teaching people how to perform these projects just like you see right here since 2008. Now, I started this company in 2005 when I was just 23-year-old. I'm 38 now. I'll be 39 on May the 28th. And let me tell you something, after training people in other companies on how to do these projects for years and years and years, all that slickness that you see right there behind me, you see how tight them floors are, you see how tight them walls are? I can teach you how to do that step by freaking step, A to Z. And let me tell you something. Out of all the people that I've taught it to, how come you don't think you see anybody else on YouTube or anywhere else on the entire internet out here accomplishing results like what you see right here before you? I'll go ahead and tell you the answer in case you ain't smart enough to know it. You can't pull off these results right here unless you care. And no matter what I teach you to do, I can't teach you to care. You can't make somebody care. And Hector Diaz ain't worked with me but for about 6 weeks, and he done everything you see in this room right here 100% by himself. Let me tell you something about Hector. Hector es mucho trabajo. Hector es el mejor. Hector es mucho perfecto, mi amigos. And as we make our way into the front corner there, you'll see us transitioning from wood back to hollow block. And then right there in front of you, that's all sheetrock. And just keep in mind, like I've already stated, how we did not put any of our poly onto any of the sheetrock or on any of our wooden joists. Now start looking overhead here, guys, and you will also see all of our brand new R19 poly encapsulated floor insulation that we have installed under here for EJ and Gloria. And with all of that being shown to you, let's crawl back outside of this tiny hole and get over there and check out that main crawl space. Hector, good job, buddy. You couldn't have done a better job under this crawl space right here. I ain't kidding, man. Look at that one more time, guys. Everybody give Hector a big round of applause if you're watching, because I really mean it. That right there, that's as good as it gets, especially under circumstances that low where you would have had a slim chance at even getting many people to even commit to even going under that thing. We've been over here busting it, guys, trying to get all this wrapped up. You can see David coming out now. I believe Hector is just behind him. And as soon as they get out, I'm going to go in and show every single one of you exactly what this bad boy looks like. Because, man, guys, you are not going to believe this. It is freaking awesome. And before I get under there and show you guys everything with Hector, I want to step outside real fast. Guys, it has been pouring down rain here all night long. You should have heard it in my house. It ain't stopped all day long. And with all three of us under here working, with all of our body heat, with that crawl space door wide open, the moisture levels inside that front crawl space are already down to 40%. And the moisture levels inside this back crawl space are already down to 37%. Hector, how about it, brother? We about ready to go in there and do this finished video?
Yes, 1 second, and now.
You heard the man. Here we go. Okay, guys, you're not going to believe this. How about it, Hector? You think they're ready for this shot? Check it out, guys.
We are ready. We're so ready. So let me tell you something. We deserve some tacos or steak or something for this one.
You say I got to buy you guys some supper to go with all of this hard work that you put under here for EJ and Gloria, huh? I got no problem with that. I say you guys deserve a lot more than tacos, guys. Eric, brother, there's your old stop sign. Let's get inside this bad boy. And none of these crawl spaces on this project are easy ones to climb inside by any means. Got to be pretty acrobatic just to get inside here. Let me post up in this corner right here and give you guys a pan shot of all of this perfection. All right, guys, focus your attention down the tops of those walls. Look at how we've edged all of those out perfectly. Take a look at all of the piers inside this crawl space. If I'm not mistaken, there was either 18 or 19 of them under here, and every single one of them have been completely wrapped to perfection, all by mi hermano Hector right there and my buddy David that I've been friends with now for over 20 freaking years. God almighty. And during this project, we have discovered several different plumbing leaks. And one of my friends that does all of that, looky there, buddy. There's a couple small drips that you guys still got to come back over here and fix. We've got that blue towel hung right up there over them so that you guys can easily identify where that is. So Dennis, once again, whenever you guys see all that, make sure all that's taken care of, buddy. And then right here to our right is our first of 3 of our humidistat fans that we had to install on this project. As most of you watching know, those are the exhaust system of our project. And right here to my left is our big Santa Fe Advanced Dehumidifier. Real quick, guys, we're currently, Hector and I, getting this advanced dehumidifier system underneath this crawl space. We've already gotten the compact dehumidifier under there. Let me spin it around really fast and show you guys just how little clearance we had in getting this dehumidifier underneath here. Check it out, guys. Look at this. We've got maybe like a ½ inch, whatever, up on top, but on the sides, like Hector just said in there, check it out. We have less than a ½ inch of clearance. I've been staying up all night worrying about having to take out that brand new door frame that I built a few days ago over here. Stay tuned, guys. We got a lot more to show you coming right up. Let me crawl under here real fast, show you guys the front of it, and make note, guys, as in all of our videos, right up there, you want to make sure that switch is always set to auto. And look, guys, you always want to set that dial right there right around 730. And then look right here to our left at the condensate pump, and look at how much water is dumping outside of this unit right here down into the pump. And we've actually got both condensate pumps on this job going up and over into the corner over there, directly into our sump pump basin, which I will give all of you a close-up of as soon as I make my way over there to that corner. And it's not part of our service here at Tennessee Technicians, but Hector and his brother Valentine came over here on Saturday, cleaned all of EJ and Gloria's ductwork, and went around and retaped every single seam joint in that entire HVAC line all the way through all 3 of these crawl spaces for EJ and Gloria. Now guys, you think about it. With all of this brand new 20 mil encapsulation, with all of our brand new R19 poly encapsulated floor insulation, along with all of the HVAC work that Hector and Valentine did, I mean, think about it. Can you imagine the energy efficiency increase that we have created underneath here for EJ and Gloria? And guys, right there behind me is our second humidistat fan on this project, and we've got one more up there in that front crawl space. I'll show all that to you as soon as I get up there to it. And while I'm here on my belly, just look left and you'll be able to see a better view of all of that HVAC line that Hector and Valentine came over here and improved so much for EJ this past weekend. And as we keep panning right over here, that is actually where our sump pump and sump pump basin is. And while Hector and David were under here working, they sent me a video one day whenever they just got this basin right here installed. And you are about to flip out as soon as you see how much water was dumping inside this during our last storm a little over a week and a half ago. Look at this water volume. And I have actually done more of these jobs than I care to even know. More than I care to even imagine, for that matter. And the amount of water that you just seen dumping inside that basin right there is the most violent amount of water that I have ever witnessed dumping inside of a basin. And that just goes to show you how much drainage problems they actually had in this ground, making its way all the way through here, just like I told you about in the beginning of this video. And not only are our drain lines connecting into this basin, if you look at these 2 clear lines coming in, the dehumidifier system up there, our big Santa Fe Advanced unit, and the Santa Fe Compact unit that's actually inside this front crawl space are both plumbed in over to this basin point. And when both dehumidifiers discharge the collected water, it immediately goes down inside this basin where the sump pump quickly captures it and sends it outside the home, so that that water is no longer a problem underneath this crawl space whatsoever for EJ and Gloria. And if you look overhead, guys, notice how all of these floor joists have been scabbed and had different joists added to the existing. That's because the majority of all of the existing joists were already rotten before I ever came over here and initially inspected this crawl space. Now let's climb up inside this super tight front crawl space and get under here and check out all the work that we've gotten done inside of this area. I done told you, every single one of these entries is hard getting in and hard getting back out. And I'm always hard. And take a look right there, guys, at all of the attention to detail Hector and David have done en route to getting all of this poly up on all of these walls, like what all of you are used to seeing on all of our crawl space encapsulation projects here at Tennessee Technicians. Notice as you take a look at all of those insulation ends, how we fill up every single void 100% all the way on top of the sill plate. And then right over here to our left is our smaller Santa Fe Compact Dehumidifier, and I'll take you guys over there right now. And just like on our larger Santa Fe Advanced units, on the smaller Compact unit here, I also set it to 730, and let me show all that to you. So focus your attention right there on that knob, and look guys, if that 6 o'clock was down there in the bottom middle, look how I always set it right around 730. Notice you got your switch right there set to auto, and then come right here, and if you'll be paying attention, you'll see some water dumping out of there inside to our condensate pump that is once again sending all of that collected water over to our basin area. Now take a look overhead here. This crawl space that we're working in is so low. If it'd been any lower, I would have had a hard time getting that elevation right there to have enough height for gravity to allow that water to fall down inside this. But look overhead here and notice that none of that dehumidifier is touching these joists anywhere, and it couldn't have went in any more perfectly than what it has here. Sorry for shaking the camera, but check that out, guys. I mean, it was just a perfect fit altogether. And then coming up right here beside me on my right is our third and final humidistat fan. Those are our Churnlin V2D models. And while I'm giving them a shout out, what's up all my friends at Churnlin? Thank you so much for all of the customers you send to us here at Tennessee Technicians. Anyone watching these videos, feel free to call up Churnlin. Feel free to ask them some questions and see which guy on the internet that they direct you over to. Call up Santa Fe Dehumidifier Company. See which guy they direct you to. I wonder how come those two biggest companies always refer Tanner Flowers. Some of you may even be smart enough to have already figured that out for yourself. Those original plumbing problems that EJ had right there on all that work before you, as you may have seen in my inspection photos from back in February, that was not all fixed properly, and I had to call up my buddy Dennis, who had to have his heroes come over here and fix all of that as it should be for EJ and Gloria. And now I do not see any drips whatsoever coming from any of this plumbing right here. And guys, if you'll see this obstacle coming up in front of me right here, this is the old step into the old entrance of the home. And as you can see, Hector took the time to go ahead and seal all of that up with our 20 mil poly as well. I'm getting ready to make my way back over there to the exit and get back inside the main crawl space and show all of you the remainder of the project. Let me just turn that up barely right there. Kind of had it about 726. Pick up sticks, and I want it on that dirty 730, you feel me? Woo! God almighty. Now would be a good time for a lot of you that don't know to be made aware. You like what you're seeing? You like these finished results? You want us to do all this for you? Well, before you get too excited and dial up 423-503-0512, because you already know how we do, you need to be aware that I charge $500 just to talk to you. I do not answer my phone. If you do not leave me a voicemail or send me a text, you will never speak to me in your life. I do not care if I do a job for you. You need to know that as well. If I care enough to commit to doing a project for you, you are getting ready to get a better project than anyone you could have ever hired in your freaking life. You ain't never had nobody like me. You ain't never had nobody like my team, and you'll never get anybody like me or my team. And if you want to find out the hard way that that statement's true, be my freaking guest and go ahead and find out for yourself, because you're dealing with a man right here that don't care. You know, I might even retract that last statement just a little bit, because, you know, I actually do care, or else these projects wouldn't look like this. But let me tell you what I don't care about. I really don't care about you people that think that I do care. Because if you think that I care for 1 second to run your butt on down this road and let you get crooked by some other company, go ahead and find out for yourself, baby. Woo! And as we continue making our way down this wall right here, we are heading towards that small crawl space that I crawled in to start with. They had the concrete floor that connects into this main crawl space here. There's that opening where I was showing you guys Hector and David down here cleaning a little bit earlier. Take a look at all of that insulation once again overhead. Look at my man up there. You ready to go, buddy?
Yes, sir.
You done had all the time under this crawl space you want, ain't you? Shoot, I don't blame you, man. You worked your butt off.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah, I guarantee it. We got a big one coming up, guys. Starting it tomorrow in Athens, Tennessee. Once again, Dennis, there's that leak. You guys got to come back over here. Shouldn't take you guys 5 or 10 minutes to do whatever you got to do. I don't know. I ain't no plumber. Let me go right over here real fast and show you guys that other small room that I was in from this crawl space right here. Let me slide this duct line apart right here and see if I can shove you guys up in here a little bit and show you guys all of that once again. You remember that from a bit ago. Golly bum Hector, you did such a good job under here, buddy. I'm so proud of you. Let me get back out here now and show you guys what little bit we got left before we actually call it wraps on this brand new project for EJ and Gloria. And here's you guys a pan shot going from the back side of the crawl space all the way up to the front. What an excellent job you guys did on these piers. And then now we're just making our way back up here to the crawl space entry. Up here by the man himself, the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the man that's got all the power. My man Hector Diaz. Check it out, guys. A+++. Woo! Guys, I want to thank each and every single one of you once again for tuning in with us here at Tennessee Technicians and checking out another one of our brand new finished projects. Sorry I haven't taken the time to make a video to talk to you guys in the past few weeks. I was a little upset in that last video if you want to check that out. And I meant every word that I said in it too. So if you ain't seen that video, go back and watch that video before this. If you want to know my mindset, you might ought to recognize it before you dial that phone number. Because I ain't no normal guy you calling up. And you better believe what I'm saying to you right now before you find out the hard way. So guys, for all of you that want the best, and you already know you want the best, that $500 consultation fee goes 100% towards your total project cost. Your 100% total project balance is due in full at contract acceptance, or I will not be doing any work for you. So stay tuned, guys, and call us at 423-503-0512 if you too want to get on schedule. And like always, I will talk to each and every single one of you inside that next project video.